The Xbox Series S is a very impressive little machine, and with the new feature coming out, it's about to get even more impressive. What's up guys, back with another video, and today I want to talk about the Xbox Series S because I feel like it's the console that kind of gets overlooked in favor of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. It's a little bit less powerful, so a lot of people kind of just put it under the rug and they're like, yeah, it's cool, it's next gen, but you know, it's not as powerful. Now, there are some limitations with the Series S. That's why a lot of people, I think, kind of discount it. It only has 4 teraflops as opposed to 12 teraflops on the Xbox Series X. It only has 10 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM as opposed to the 16 gigabytes on the Xbox Series X. There's some other limitations, but all things considered, it's still a pretty nice console. It's pretty powerful for what they were able to pack in it. One of the areas of contention right now is the fact that it's not really a 1440p 120 hertz console. It's really shaping to be like a 1080p 120 hertz console, which is still very impressive. But I really don't think that matters because of one feature called FidelityFX Super Resolution. Now, for those of you who don't know, AMD just had their Computex conference where they talked about their upcoming CPUs, they talked about some of their future technologies, they talked about the mobile GPUs, they talked about a whole lot of things. But one of the most interesting things that came out of this whole entire conference, I feel, is Super Resolution. FidelityFX Super Resolution is AMD's answer to NVIDIA's DLSS that they use for their games. It's a form of AI upscaling that makes games that are normally, displayed at 1080p. Now they can display at 1440p or even 4K in some cases. They take a smaller resolution and they use AI to make the image look like a 4K image as much as they can. Now, how this all rolls back into the Xbox Series S is the fact that Super Resolution is compatible with all AMD's GPUs, including the ones that are in the consoles, i.e. the Xbox Series S. This means that you can take the Xbox Series S, which is a 1080p 120 FPS console for all intents and purposes right now, and you can turn that into a 4K 120 FPS console, which is crazy to even think about. This potentially takes the Xbox Series S and it puts it up with the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It kind of levels out the playing field, so to speak. So you don't necessarily have to spend $500 for an Xbox Series X to get a 4K experience. You can get that potentially with the Xbox Series S with this new feature. This is crazy. This is bonkers. This is great news for owners of the Xbox Series S. And really, it's great news for everybody. With the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, you can turn those consoles, which are already advertised to be 4K 120 FPS consoles, and you can turn those into potentially 8K machines. That's what it says on the box. On the PlayStation 5, so to speak, a lot of people laughed and they're like, 8K, like why would you put 8K on the box? There's no way the PlayStation 5 is going to reach 8K. Well, with Super Resolution and AI upscaling, technically, yeah, it can be an 8K machine. We've already seen the massive amounts of performance gains you can get by using AI upscaling technologies like DLSS in some games. And AMD showed some pretty impressive performance improvements with their Super Resolution upscaling technology in Godfall. Now, what they did show was still a little bit early, so I assume that they're going to take this time to really optimize it to make it even better. But from what they did show, it was still pretty impressive, and I think it's very promising for the future of games on the Xbox Series S. Now, yeah, it's not technically native resolution, but if you're sitting 5, 6, 7 feet away from your TV, then what does it really matter? You're not really gonna notice at that distance. It's gonna look good either way, as long as they do it right. Imagine a game that looks as good as the Unreal Engine 5 showcase. Imagine that running on the Xbox Series S. We already know that it can run on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, no problem, you know, so to speak. But imagine that type of graphical fidelity running at a smooth frame rate on the Series S. The Series S, a 4 teraflop machine. That's nuts, man. I mean, the sky is the limit. So if you have an Xbox Series S right now and are worried about games being held back by the console, I wouldn't even worry about it, man. With new features like super resolution, Xbox velocity architecture that's going to add more performance, variable rate shading that's going to add performance, all this stuff combined is going to make a great gaming experience for the Xbox Series S. So put all those worries for us, because I think the Xbox Series S is gonna punch well above its weight and gonna be a fantastic console when the generation is all said and done. We're gonna look back and be like, you know what? That was a pretty dang awesome console. But hey, that's just what I think about the Series S and super resolution. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. If you disliked it, you can do that too. But if you did, let me know what I can do better so I can make these videos even more awesome. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on all these cool videos. And until next time, pieces, deuces, and everything in between.